In December 2017, President Donald Trump signed a Tax Reform Act. This tax season is the first year for the new law. Reporter Matt Wachowski took an in-depth look into what has changed and who has been affected.
Filing for the 2019 tax season has only been underway for a few weeks now. However, some people who have already filed have noticed a big difference in their return this year. How did you feel about your tax returns?
Disappointing.
Disappointing?
Yes.
And did you understand why they were lower than?
I did not go into great detail. I know there were some things that changed as far as what I could get back. I haven't done professionally, so it was kind of bad news to hear from my accountant, but it was one of the things that they said laws have changed, and so the generosity of the government is not as great this year.
Tom Wagner of Wagner Accounting and Tax Services explains why some people might not be getting the refund amount they expected.
Now that my tax has been reduced and I've got this week to week rather than all at once, this all at once planning that I used to do, where I used to, I get $3,000 back. Well, now I only get $600 back. So that's where some of the disappointment is coming in.
Wagner found that several of his clients didn't realize the amount of withholding tax was decreased, which allowed for more money in each paycheck rather than a lump sum during tax season.
It is a little bit of misinformation and a little bit of misunderstanding. People are used to having a certain amount coming back every year on their refund because their income has been stable and they know what they're having back. Now that that's changed, it's an adjustment.
For people who haven't filed their taxes yet, understanding the changes and terms within the tax reform plan could be very beneficial. So let's take a brief look at the main points of the Tax Act. As Wagner mentioned before, there have been lower refunds from lower withholding taxes. State and local deductions have now been capped at $10,000 instead of being uncapped, and people who don't sign up for healthcare no longer receive a fine. Wagner lays out the details for standard deduction.
What has changed this year, those exemptions have gone away, and now we have increased the standard deduction. So if last year it was $12,700, this year it's $24,000.
The child tax credit has doubled from $1,000 to $2,000. Ultimately, if you find yourself unhappy with the refund amount, Wagner suggests it might be time to consider changing withholdings in your W-4 for the year ahead. Reporting for LCTV News, I'm Matthew Witkowski.